Alright. What's up? Alright, T-Rex, I'm trying to see if everything is working fine here. What do you think? Looks like I'm good. Alright. Well, based off of my limited information, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I'm solid and start up the game. Nice. Sometimes when I'm looking at things in the YouTube studio, they just don't show up at all. I'm not sure what it is with this platform that has these problems, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta wing it. And now, I actually have a second monitor, so I can read comments a lot more easily, and should have a little bit more confidence actually playing the game. This time around, I'm going into Isonzo. The reason why I decided to pick this one up is actually because it's free on Epic in a few days here, so not too long. I have to learn how to make it. I haven't played this. It's a pretty tough one, but very interesting. Because I believe, if I remember correctly, this is the and it is warfare. So think of something kind of like Battlefront, along those lines. Send it down to 25. How's that? Man, I used to be good at this game too. I don't know what it is with me running in like a chump, going straight up the battlefield, but it's not a good plan. I'm just gonna keep doing it though. Apparently. Oh, never mind. We ran out of reinforcements. All right, good.
Possiamo aver perso questa battaglia, ma non la guerra.
Well, it looks like that time I was jumping in kind of more or less at the end of the match, so it was a little bit short-lived. But if I stay with this group, I'm sure I'll jump in at the beginning, have a little bit more easy of a time. Hopefully get in on that marksman class. I tried it for a little bit yesterday, and I did something that I thought was clever that ended up kind of screwing me over for the whole game. I climbed underneath a train car, and when I did it, it was working out really nicely. I was able to get shots off from really good range with great cover, and then when I tried to get out of there when we were moving the position forward, I got stuck. So yeah, I wasn't able to get out, and I ended up dying under there at the end of the game. It has been a while. I'm actually doing mostly fine. A little bit under the weather, but I think I'm starting to pick back up. I took a little bit of today to get some rest, and I haven't been working on anything, so I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I was having this odd pain in my hand. I think it was because of a new exercise I was demonstrating. I was ill-prepared to actually do it, though. I don't think I'm up to snuff health-wise, and I don't think that I chose any weapon category or anything here, so Might have just made my day a little worse. What am I, an engineer? Yes, I'm probably an engineer, given my capacity to build things. There was a time and place when I was good at this game, but I was playing it pretty frequently. It's been years. Looks like we've already got artillery out. And I'm gonna go ahead and try something I haven't done. Okay, so it does look like that works. So I should be able to go straight over from my game to other functions like Chrome or OBS, whatever I need to get to kind of mess around with things without you guys seeing my desktop. I'm gonna die, but alright.
Inchiodateli su quella posizione, ragazzi!
Somehow that man did not see me. Yeah, health-wise, I've actually been doing astoundingly well. I'm putting in a lot of effort towards my physical training. You could pretty much just think of it as rehab. And it's had really good results. Apparently my eyes are still cracked though. Alright, I gotta check my settings. Knowing how to melee is crucial to this game, and I don't F. Why would it be okay? Let's not do F actually. Let's do pretty much anything other than that. Alright, so we're good here. I can melee again. You know, there used to be a time when I would be able to answer the question of what rifle is that, but I have not kept up with firearms knowledge, especially of those antique ones. I didn't hear anything there. I must have been under such suppressive fire that I could not hear my own firearm. I don't know how that works, but I'm sure there's some possibility of that. Ah, I see. The old hit him with a shovel strategy. Ice pick. It was an ice pick this time. So they're getting into our back line and just absolutely decimating us here. I'm guessing that they have competent marksmen. And incompetent infantry, apparently. That is a man who should have been able to turn and take me out. But sometimes you just gotta sweep the back line. Because they'll get in here. And especially if they get a marksman behind enemy lines, they will actually be able to decimate you. Because as we push forward, they'll be just taking us out from the rear. And back in the day, when I was good at this game, because I played it too often, they would do this thing where you would occasionally get a sniper right back here on this trench. And the one instance of it, actually one of my earlier videos, I ended up sitting right next to this dude. So we're taking pot shots at various enemies on our, corresponding sides from about 2 feet away from each other. And I just happen to be, I don't know, maybe a foot and a half behind him. So when he's moving, I'm like, wait a second, you don't have a gamer tag. So obviously I just took him out right there. But it was just one of those peculiar moments that you get, where he was being real clever, and I just happened to be right on top of him. Had I not been, though, I guarantee he would have gotten away with that. Got somebody up here. This is one of those games where there's so much going on that It is very easy. Keep your head down as much as possible, but you are going to die over and over again.
Ce l'abbiamo, ragazzi!
And you just gotta move up. Takes a lot of skill, but it's not necessarily required. It's a fun game, even if you suck at it. Presently, I expect to die a million times to get no kills this round. Pretty sure Isonzo's World War I. Okay. What's up with that? So I had no sound there for a second. Yeah, see, bayonets, they work. It's just about as well as actually shooting at them when you're inaccurate. I'm sure one of the classes has grenades or something, but I do not. These guys, ammo boxes. The officer couldn't get this guy with the handgun? See if we have enough officers. We do. Oh, I'm just a rifleman? Wow, that's... No, I don't want to be a rifleman. That's got to be the worst class imaginable. There we go. So now that I am an engineer, this is actually a class I have used a little bit. Again, don't know what rifle I have. I'm not that knowledgeable. But I have my handgun, and I love revolvers. Especially for that close proximity shootout. Against one, that was useless, but I tried. I had gusto. 10-second respawn. Spawn just far enough away. Why am I doing this right here? I'm in the open. Exposed. Yeah, see, we're getting wrecked over here too. This is why sometimes it's important to start on the rear line. Of course, they're going to push me all the way up here. So back up the damn hill. Figure out something. Looks like we're already good. I am absolutely being shot at. Yep, I'm dead. I'll just start back here. Yeah, definitely a World War I game, and there's a lot of strategy involved here. None that's being currently employed by me or any of my teammates, for whatever reason. But I do like the integrated firing style. You get some of these more modern games where you have, you know, 20 or 100 round mags, whatever. And honestly, it just feels boring. You really don't have to try all that hard. Also, I like trench warfare. I've always been a trench warfare guy. Can't get away from the artillery sometimes. Actually, out of curiosity, I bet there's one open. Let me see. So, littered around the map, there are a couple of locations where you can pop into artillery. And now, if things were clear, and I had a good line of sight, I'd be able to take some shots here and probably take out some dudes. But as it stands, well, I don't think there was anything particularly interesting in the most recent mod gen. I did see a quest mod show up, but because I have been a little bit under the weather, I didn't get time to actually try it. Other than that, things have been kind of slow on the mod side, especially for Fallout 4. I've actually seen more good stuff coming out of New Vegas. You know, I have not been paying enough attention to be able to tell you what faction I'm a part of right now. In fact, I don't know how to... Wow, look at that. A method. Man. I am so terrible that I don't know how to dismount this gun. There we go. It was E. Love it though. This is the type of game where you've got everybody just hanging out at the back here, not knowing what to do or how to push forward. You got one guy to take out the whole team. Yes! Okay, that one was 1-1, so I consider that a victory in my current state of being terrible. There was actually a time when I played this game pretty frequently. I was going maybe an hour or two a day, where I could actually take on 10 or 20 guys at the same time. At some point, if I end up playing this enough, I will probably be able to demonstrate that in a week or two. And because I need to be live streaming more frequently, that is something that may actually occur. It would probably help if I wasn't listening to such things right now. Yeah, know what? I cannot be judged. I know not a lot of people listen to Tammy Cat, but I do. Because I'm that weird. Oh man, I thought I had that one. Miles in the gun. Yeah, it's very possible. For some reason, whenever I see that, man, if I knew my terminology, I would speculate, but I'm terrible right now. I can't think properly. I'm going to have to take some time and clear my head with some casual reading. Hopefully, I will start having a little bit more clarity. Right now, I'm in kind of a state. I am in barbed wire.
Abbiamo messo in sicurezza la posizione.
I also need to get in and do modding because I haven't been able to do all that much lately. And it's going to start to hinder me. The beginning of this month has actually been a bit weird. Views are really down. I haven't been all that into modding lately, which is not great for a person who reviews mods. That's something that I'm supposed to be doing pretty frequently. Hey, I nailed it. And then I got it. Okay. Yeah. So I have been having a little bit of trouble just with concentration, a little bit of my various health issues. Obviously, I'm wearing a hoodie today, which has been a little bit too frequent these past few months. So that's a problem. I gotta start buttoning it up and kind of take things a little bit more seriously in my day-to-day life. So one of the things that I'm doing to start that off, kind of kick myself back into a better position, was that I got a second monitor so that I can read comments and respond to them a little bit more easily while I'm doing these live streams, which should hopefully encourage me to do more of them. And I would say, seeing as I got it yesterday, I'm already off to a good start. Kind of had to push myself, though, because I'm one of those people who's riddled with anxiety, and if I don't really show it too much, I obviously show it a bit. But, wow. So. But, you know, it got me off to a good start, so hopefully I'll be able to do a lot more of that in the future, and one of the things that... Wow, did we just lose 2 positions? Really? Really? Alright, wow, the suckage on my team. Which I am deeply a part of. I'm not blaming anybody else on this one. I mean, I'm doing terribly. I didn't choose a proper class when I initially started. Back in the day when I used to play this, I would have chosen the marksman class almost every time, because dude's way over there, I could have hit him. Instead, I'm an engineer and I have no scope, which is terrible.
Stanno guadagnando terreno.
In any case, yeah, anxiety is a huge problem for a lot of people, and I don't know what really causes it to act up the way that it does. I don't know if that's kind of a genetic thing, or if that is something caused kind of more or less by diet. Because I do find that if I get a cold, for instance, boom, anxiety through the roof. I am a much more nervous person during those times. Or if I'm eating garbage, or eating pizza, which I did this week, which was not a good choice. Boom, anxiety through the roof. I just figured out how to focus. And that's completely the way my position. Because I suck. Alright, I'm moving up. They're gonna kill me. For sure.
Stiamo spingendo il nemico fuori da questo settore.
You know, I kind of wish that my flatmate was here. He could tell you what gun it is. Or, like, definitively. This guy, he's really good about stuff like that. Of all the things that he doesn't know, firearms is one that he does. I actually use him to reference a lot of stuff in the videos. He is the guy that originally voice acted Russian Bear the Third. And the name actually comes from his gamer tag. He's not actually Russian, he just does a really good Russian accent. Good in my opinion, I don't know that many Russian people. Wow, classy. We're a bunch of spawn killers. It's our prerogative. No sleep. The game won't let us take it for the mission. And we've got Frank Horrigan. Oh.
Stanno attaccando!
Somehow we came out ahead on that one. I felt like we were getting decimated the entire time, but, you know, something had to have gone right. It's a process, he says. I get it, I was terrible too. Huh, I was only mid. Look at that. I would be impressed, but that's actually kind of sad because I was doing terribly. Alright. German. Ah, man, look at me. Okay. Ah, still no scope. Damn me. Alright. I gotta rank up this classic anyway.
Benvenuto al
I
fronte,
don't know, I
fratello!
might stick with my Beretta. Rate of fire is better. Stopping power is better on my revolver, though. So, that's something. Am I in a mid-game? I think this is a mid-game. No, we're on defense. Okay, what am I thinking? Get down, that's what I'm thinking. And stay that way. Because if you show yourself at the beginning, it's going to be bad. Every time. Hear that whistle? That is the sound of men being defeated before the match has even started. I got a hit, it's not a fatal one. Kill on that guy. I'm sure that's a shot for me. They've broken through. That's a kill. That's a kill. Point of fact, defense is a lot easier, so if I look good right now, it's not really skill, it's just that defense is easier. That's really all it is. That does not work. Jeez. Always stay back from the window. That is an old sniper strategy. Not particularly. Oh, god damn. Apparently they already broke my lines, and I had no idea. You know, I actually did watch a good movie the other day. It was called, what was it? The Bicentennial Man on Tubi. Really solid movie with Robin Williams, I think is his name. I'm not much... I don't remember the names of actors very well, so I might be wrong on that one, but I'm pretty sure it's Robin Williams. It's about a robot that effectively gains sentience, and over a couple of 100 years, he eventually becomes human. Really good movie, great humor. I think it was 1999. Got him anyway.
Sta prendendo il sopravvento in questo settore.
Did I get the kill on that guy? Ah, I really thought I had that one. Yeah, Robin Williams absolutely kicked ass, and I feel like he was at his best or damn near in this movie. So if you want to check it out, I mean, Tubi is free. And if you watch on PC, I know that it's mean to say this, but you can watch without ads if you have an ad blocker, which I do when I'm watching things like Being Human or whatever TV shows where I'm working and I don't really care to listen to ads. I know I just killed that guy. A little bit unfair, but I'm okay with it. I am behind enemy lines. They push through. Ah! I would not be the proper person to be on a team with in a war because collateral damage would be my middle name. I've always done everything alone, so yeah, I would have accidentally killed one of my teammates right there, for sure. I'm just one of those people. Looks like we lost position.
All'attacco!
Damn. Both sides. Really? A movie that came out this year was good? What's it about? I don't have Netflix, so I can't watch it. You know, still interested. They really took us over. Captured just about every position in no time at all. Back and regrouping. Come on, you really thought you could just stand in the open and aim at me? Not that bad. Foolishness. Yep, there we are. Got a hit on that. There's 3 guys aiming for me, so I suppose that's not that bad. Okay, we did lose that entire position, but I don't know. It's not too bad, I'm sure. Interesting. Definitely sounds like the sort of thing I would watch. I think Netflix is what, $20 or something a month nowadays? Things are getting crazy pricey. Right in the way of our I'm so dead. I think I might have just come away shy on that one. Low and slow.
Di trincea! Uccidete quei bastardi!
Totally didn't notice that guy.
Dategli addosso! Ora!
Good at this crap. will be executed. God damn. We already put the barricade there? Okay. Not yet. Take it through, man. Alright, I gotta think of a good position to hold down the fort. It's usually suicide to get onto one of those guns, but that seemed like a push moment to just jump in and take victory. I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure my description of the Bicentennial Man was as good of spoilers as yours. It's not hard to spoil a premise. Wow, I am so articulate lately. Damn. In case you can't tell, I have been spending way too much time by myself. The last time I tried to form a coherent sentence was like 5 days ago. Oh, damn.
Inchiodateli su quella posizione, ragazzi!
Sure, I just narrowly avoided death. Not quite. No, I haven't watched any of the new Resident Evil stuff, actually. I think the last one that I saw was, I actually can't remember which one was the last one I saw. Memory's that good. I haven't thought about Resident Evil in quite some time, actually. be a pretty avid fan now. The only thing I remember about the last movie that I saw was that there was this door that was kind of closing, and for some reason it was on a loop, so even though the door was closing, it would come in like this, and then it would jump back, and it would start to close again, so that in every scene it would jump back to the same position, and still be closing for like 30 seconds straight, and it just kept looping like that. So I'm like, wow, they have all the time in the world, and they don't even realize it. It's just one of those weird movie gimmicky things that is like, okay, well, you know what, let's just not pay attention to that. Like, me personally, I would have just progressively moved the door in and not worried about resetting things. I don't know what was going on in the director's mind there, but the door position was continuously reset, and it was pretty hilarious. I couldn't really take that movie very seriously. So Resident Evil Requiem, I saw a trailer for, I think, but I have not played one of those games since probably 2005. So there is a very minuscule likelihood of me actually jumping back into one of those. I have been looking at the Silent Hill franchise, though, because I have never played one, and some of those recent entries look really damn good. I am totally gonna die here. I don't know why, but jumping into the barbed wire just seems really appetizing. It shouldn't, but for some reason, I just kind of want to climb right into it. I have this thing with barbed wire, though. I don't remember the name of it, but there's a Silent Hill game that recently came out. I say recently, but that's relative to me, where it's a Japanese schoolgirl or whatever. I'm not really sure what the premise is, but that one looked pretty interesting. And I watched a video that was talking about it the other day, and it was about writing. It wasn't so much so about the game itself, but he was using it as an example for good writing. And to me, that sounded really interesting. So I don't know, it's one of those ones I might check out, because psychological horror has kind of always been up my alley. When I was a teenager, I was absolutely insane. Yes, Silent Hill F. That is the one. I was thinking E, but no. It's one of those gaps in my brain where it just didn't see the full letter. I managed to get hit with both artillery and bullets at the same time, while in the perfect position to hold that. That is exactly my luck. Come on, lads, you could be moving up. I should have gone into the officer class. Better. I'm running. Well, aren't you lads just heroic? Why are we not sabotaging this spawn point? Good enough, right? That's always what I go for in life. Mediocrity. Totally my best friend. Nailed it. Oh, damn. Should have done what he did. Going for the bayonet right off the bat would have been so much better. I just didn't think about it. This is the kind of crap that you don't learn well enough. You never think to go straight for bayoneting a dude because you're like, oh, I have a gun. Why don't I just shoot at him? But then you lose your opportunity to bayonet somebody while you're pulling that trigger. That's actually something that I prefer about real life, because you know what? You still have that bayonet right in front of you. So if you see that you just missed your shot, they're still charging you, all you have to do is change the direction of your weapon. It's a lot more intuitive. I can't stand video games sometimes because they have these things where it's like, oh, well, you didn't hit them, so they now have 20 seconds to hit you, and I'm like, oh, well, I would have been faster in real life, you see. And you know, I actually watched a video earlier today. It was like a minute and a half long, and it was great, because that's exactly what the dude was saying, is that perfection is another form of procrastination. You already know you're never going to be perfect, so when you're trying to achieve that, what's really happening is you're using an excuse to not be okay. You're not trying to improve, you're trying to excuse the fact that you're not actually starting. And I really liked that perspective on things, because I proclaim my perfectionist mentality on a frequent basis, only to never get it. And I recently wasted. I was going to say used, because I love to use this kind of language that makes me sound like I'm better than I am. No, I wasted 2 full months trying to come up with the perfect model for a 3D character, right? I designed the topology perfectly, it was brilliant, and then when I started using it, I realized that in order for somebody else to use it, they would have to spend hundreds of hours weight painting, or at least 5 or 10, okay? A long time. But I wanted it to be a plug-and-play, immediate topology where you jump in, you have your weight painting perfect right off the bat. And of course, I realize now that that was an idiotic idea, because it's never going to work that way. And I could have made 60 characters in the time that it took me to make that one unfinished project that I wanted to be perfect. Huh. So yeah, I realized that I needed to abandon that project and just move forward, because perfection is not what you need to go for. You need to go for functionality. Which is also kind of what got me streaming now. I know it's not going to be perfect. I know that I'm not in the best health. It doesn't matter. Sometimes getting started is more important than being perfect. In fact, it's almost always more important. I do wish I had a scope right now, though. Because that was a nice long shot, but I could have made that with a scope. I keep seeing them, but I can't quite hit them. Again, though, that's just me going for perfection. Pulling back in, damn it. Alright, alright. No help at all. Yeah, so I'm doing away with my procrastination. It's one of the things that is on my docket. I'm literally using another person for cover. There was a guy on my left. I thought I saw somebody, but I ended up talking myself out of it. down the open. It's always the best strategy. So a song I'm listening to that I'd wager everybody has heard at this point is 3 Kobolds in a Trench Coat.
Ricarico! Comprendimi!
What the hell are you doing back here? I'm mixing up my enemies and allies now.
Quei maledetti bastardi!
Getting worse. That was unnerving. He's dead.
Einen erwischt! Gib mir Deckung! Ich muss nachladen! Ricarico!
Gonna get myself killed again.
Savoia! Ah!
Ricaricando, ragazzi!
Oh, 3 kobolds in a trench coat? Must be a great character. I have also seen 3 goblins in paladin armor. Might have been 2. It was something from Punky Doodles, I think.
Maledetti bastardi!
Just have a nice spot right here. The crossfire, at least. Damn. As a D&D character, 3 kobolds in a trench coat definitely is a fun one. And the bard is really just the only way to do it. So obviously you're not going to have a warrior.
Mandateli all'inferno, ragazzi!
Or maybe you would. I don't know. I'm not that creative. When in doubt, bayonet out.
Uccidete quei bastardi!
I hear French people.
Uccidete quei maledetti bastardi! duro, ragazzi! Granata!
I couldn't get a shot off for some reason. I think I was getting stuck on something. Oh, damn. We have all bad positions here. Not ideal. Did they put up barbed wire in our base? I didn't even know you could do that. Or was that one of ours? Yeah, now that I'm looking at things, yeah, it was definitely one of our guys putting up barbed wire in our base. Oh, damn. He almost got me. I'm actually more surprised that he didn't get me. He's kind of standing in a tight corridor here. And there we go. That sounds pretty killer, man. I've never really gotten too much into D&D, but it is definitely something that's intrigued me quite a bit. I listen to a lot of music inspired by D&D. I am super dead. Okay, dead. And there's what, 4 or 5 guys in there? Should have held my position. They would have flanked me. I'd be dead anyway. This built back up.
Avanti, Savoia!
Blacksmith. That's also by Chase Noteworthy, right? Yeah, same guy. You know, I used to listen to that guy's music years ago before it popped off. And it was always sad, because I was like, man, he makes such great stuff that nobody's ever heard. And honestly, some of his better songs are overall hell. Like, if you look back, I think 10 years ago, there's some really great stuff. But he started making music based on the Legends of Vox Machina, which is an okay show. It has some good moments, but his songs were absolutely legendary. And that was more or less what got him popular, if I'm not mistaken. I could be off by a little bit there, but it was around that time. And I'm not dissing anybody that likes the Legends of Vox Machina. That's entirely on you.
All'attacco!
Okay, so we lost, but I think that we held our own pretty well.
Non è finita finché non è davvero finita.
Damn true. Okay, so there's actually an Isonzo story that I was going to tell a little bit ago, and I kind of lost track of what I was doing and waiting for this match to end. So there was this time, a while back, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, when I started playing this game, and everything was absolutely insane. We had these really great teams on both sides. So my team goes up to the front, we man all of these different positions, and the entire fight lasted about 30 or 40 seconds. It was an intense run, straight at our position. Nobody from the enemy's group held back at all. They just bum rushed us like a bunch of lunatics. So we are firing like madmen, every single shot is going off like crazy. You got guys dropping left and right, and nobody has time to look at what is going on around them. So everybody on the enemy's team finally drops, smoke clears, and I just go, wow, you guys did great. It's really, really awesome that we were able to defeat them so easily. And then I look to my right, I look to my left, and it was just me. Everybody else was dead. I was like, wow. Yeah, that is the most realistic Isonzo moment I've ever encountered. Because that kind of stuff happens on the battlefield all the time. Where you really think that you're doing great, and your whole team is doing fine. And then you take a look around, there's just nobody left. There's also a lot of those moments where you almost shoot your allies. And this is why you will never see me on a battlefield. Because I will be avoiding being shot. You know, I watched The Mighty Nine too. I do think that was a little bit funnier. Again, still not entirely my taste. But the animation's pretty good. You know, everything's pretty crisp. The voice acting's quality. I mean, all around good show. Yeah. I think it's more or less the type of humor that isn't to my liking. I tend to be a little bit more... that sentence, but... Reload. I'm gonna have dudes all over my left side here, so... I am surprised I got the hit on that guy. And two! What am I at now? Somebody keep count for me. I don't want to be that high above the trench. I don't know why I built that. It was the gamer in me. I saw green and it called to me. I wish I could scope right here. Super helpful. Is that a guy? Is that a guy by that tree? No. That was... Damn me and my crap accuracy. Ah, damn. I knew they were going to come up on my left. I should have kept an eye out there. I'm a rifleman again, though, which is terrible. Yeah, I'll go with marksman. Well, at least I have my confidence up with some of those better shots there. I was taking guys out from a good distance. Nothing but irons. Save that guy's life. And not my own. Good smoke explode. That way.
weniger.
I really thought I was gonna have him with that bayonet. I wonder how they got behind us.
Uccidete quei maledetti bastardi!
Hab ein!
We already lost that position. Shouldn't have stopped there. That was a bad choice. That was a little premature.
Il nemico sta perdendo questa battaglia!
Being indecisive.
Mandateli all'inferno, ragazzi!
Right place, right time. Wrong place. Well, I've got a minute before I can get in. Suppose I'll stop.
Avanti,
Stand the man.
Savoia!
Which was pointless. We were overtaken. That's okay. I think after this round, I'm probably gonna call it in. Because it's starting to get a little bit more now.
Ricaricando, guardatevi le spalle! Ricarico! Ricarico! Completemi! Sto ricaricando, ragazzi!
Yeah, I mostly do open world games as well, or stuff with slower pacing for the most part. Occasionally some Souls-like games. I played recently Mortal Shell. That was the one. It was pretty solid. A little bit shorter, about 8 hours. Otherwise, solid combat though.
Sto ricaricando, guardate le spalle! Ricarico! Basta!
That guy's gonna get hurt. But if not him, it would have been those other three.
Inchiodateli su quella posizione, ragazzi! Posizione!
In the future, all the lights fall out. Skyrim or something, or whatever, slower. That way I can just kind of take my time and casually play. I'm not saying this game is super high tension or anything, but it's really high tension.
Il nemico ci sta spingendo fuori da questo settore!
Most of the time I'll probably be live streaming while I actually review mods. That way I have an opportunity to show them off a little bit more, go into a little bit more detail, rather than how I normally just do shorts. And I would like to do my mod commentary live as well. Not a whole lot I could do with that one. Out of bullets and out of time.
All'attacco!
Greift ihre Position an!
That was there.
Greift ihre Position an!
Snipers these days. Game that I would like to live stream is actually Hunt Showdown. Of all the first-person shooters I've played, that is one of the more interesting ones, because the pace is nice and slow right up until you actually hit the combat. Once you do, things fly off the rails pretty quick. It is very much so a skill game. Whereas this is just tons of dudes clogging up the field and shooting at each other, all kind of willy-nilly. Artillery, machine guns, and not a whole lot of crazy skill necessary. It's more something you just play for fun. Whereas Hunt Showdown has a lot more urgency. You die, and you lose your character. If you built up a good... if you built up a solid character, it can be a pretty devastating loss. I'm not saying it's, something to cry about, but it's definitely a lot more tension than, 13 seconds, then jump back in. Usually you've already been in 5-10 minutes before you hit combat, unless you're just sprinting around and get yourself shot. I also like the archery in that. It's not perfect, but it works pretty well. Managed to get shots on dudes from 100 or so meters away with nothing but a bow. It's pretty intriguing. That sniper up by that broken down building is really devastating. If I had a scope of my own, I'd probably take him out, but I can't actually push that far onto the battlefield, so I'd have a lot of trouble being shot. Damn, this is not good. Having a spawn point this far out, not ideal. Should have waited until there's more of us, but Leave my bro. They are rushing A. They are rushing position A. I don't know how they're just breezing right past our defenses there, though. Oh, it's because we have none. That's brilliant. Look at the barbed wire, and it's just non-existent in that whole area. You just jumped my gun. Alright. Ride or die.
Andiamo di duro, ragazzi! Sto ricaricando, ragazzi! Uccidete quei maledetti bastardi! Difendete la posizione!
Go ahead and start here. We need our defenses. This guy here.
Avanti, Savoia! Carico! Sto ricaricando! Sotterrateli addosso! Ora!
This guy. I'm gonna close up the sides. Hopefully they'll just go straight down the middle. Then move up. Get in, son. Apparently so do I.
Avanti! Avanti! Partendo questo settore! Avanti! Dateci dentro!
What is this guy doing? Man, get behind the barricade.
Ricarico! Copritemi!
Man, they devastated that front line.
Gib mir Deckung! Ich muss nachladen! Rainer, nachladen!
Well, I'd say our position's compromised. Yeah. I don't feel like I'm doing this fight is dragging on pretty significantly. The other team has all their gusto still. Comfortable victory at hand there. Oh, look at that. All the barbed wire is actually there. Still trying to heal ourselves.
Rainer, nachladen!
Muovetevi! Capi di trincea!
Einer weniger! Rainer, nachladen!
Must not have been fully loaded yet. Well, hopefully the bridge blows. Yeah, that was an ally. I don't think that bridge is going anywhere.
Mandateli all'inferno, ragazzi! Savoia!
I kind of wonder if the officer is actually thinking through what they're saying,
Quei maledetti bastardi!
or what commands they're getting.
Scoraggiata!
I don't get the impression.
Prendi quello! All'attacco!
I am not damaged by that defeat. Honestly, that took a really long time.
Prenderemo la prossima volta, ragazzi!
Alright. Yeah, that was a bit much. That was at least half an hour. Carsano. Alright, lads, that is all I've got for today. There's no more left in me. So I'm going to go ahead and clock out for now. I hope you enjoyed to some degree. It's really just me playing some casual game, just kind of trying to get used to live streaming again, so hopefully that was fine. But in the future, I'll definitely do something a little bit more interesting. Some mods or Fallout 4, New Vegas is definitely on my docket, one of those things that I really want to get more into. And I have downloaded Fallouts 1 and 2, because even though I'm not a huge fan of that style of game, I still want to get more into the lore and the background of the game. So hopefully that'll be something more interesting in the future. And you guys have a good rest of your day.